We have some huge news today, guys. BMG has finally made a move. So if anyone is in my Discord, they should have seen this announcement I did weeks ago. It was about BMG testing something and they needed 215 testers for it. Turns out this test was about a new game, a sequel to Town of Salem 1. Town of Salem 2 has been confirmed. BMG has been working on an entirely new game all this time, and it does make sense that they needed beta testers for it. Hopefully this new game is going to be refreshing for everyone and bring TOS back to what it was. Anyway, let's hit the changes. What's new? What is getting reworked? What is being removed? Mafia has been removed. Yes, you heard it. Mafia is truly gone from TOS 2. Coven is the only one evil faction in Town of Salem 2. But in return, some of the Mafia roles are reappearing as Coven roles. We'll get into this in more detail later on the video. I personally think this change was not necessary, but I know most of the players don't like Maf, and they prefer Coven over Maf. Because I get some people don't like being MK or being Framer, which is the most hated role apparently. For me, it wasn't unnecessary. I didn't hate Maf. The Coven in TOS 2 is similar to how Maf is, so we'll delve into this in the video. You guys are gonna see it. Transporter has been removed. This was leaked before people knew this was a thing, but Transporter is gone in TOS 2. Apparently it has been removed because of the chaos it causes. It's way too chaotic to be a town role. I agree about it being chaotic, but I didn't think removing it was the solution. Perhaps you could limit the usage of Transport, since Transporter would be able to be more careful with using their ability, because Transporter being unlimited, it's kind of strong, yeah. It's essentially another TP in the guise of TS. I don't think it's gonna do a huge impact, but I'll miss the trans clutches. Medium has been removed. Medium has been removed as well because the poor interaction with the dead in TOS 1. I honestly think this has its own pros and cons. You can leave a game when you die without worrying about it, especially when in TOS 1, when you get medium and the dead leaves, you have no info and you look very sus, which was not a good thing, which was not fun, and it usually ended up you being lynched. Medium has been replaced by Coroner, which is a new TI based on exhuming dead people. I'll delve into this later on the video, by the way. Neutral benigns have been removed. Yes, thank God Survivor is gone. Survivor was such a grey area in TOS 1, where it was a role that did nothing but one with everyone, was fake claimed by evils all the time, but the worst of all, it was a kingmaker. The kingmaker meaning it was a role that decides the winners in a late game situation. For example, you are a 1v1v1 and the survivor or the neutral benign role decides who wins. BMG wants to eliminate this kingmaker situation from TOS 2, which is why they did the neutral evil leaving the town situation. Neutral evil roles in TOS 2 now leave the town when they achieve the win condition, meaning they won't be impacting the game whatsoever with voting, killing anyone if they're pirates, for example. Okay, now let's switch to what's reworked. Escort's name has been changed to Tavern Keeper. I assume this change was done to fit the Salem theme more. And another change with Escort, you cannot chain roadblock anymore. The person that's roadblocked by the Tavern Keeper is immune to any roadblock next night, which is a much needed change in my opinion, because chain roadblocks are annoying. I'm telling you that. Doctor's name has been changed to Cleric. It's the same role, but it's just name is different. I assume this was also done to fit the Salem theme. Now this is a big one. Retry and Vet are no longer unique. I assume this was done to make these two roles be fake claimed more easier, since there's no more ICC Vet or ICC Retry anymore. To make fake claiming these roles way more easier. But it is going to be interesting to see games with multiple Retries or multiple Vets. Jailer cannot chain jail, and Jailer loses the ability to jail if they execute a town. So chain jailing was a problem in TOS 1, especially with TT. Since I play a lot of TT, I know in random lobbies people hold Lost Evil till the bitter end and TT hunt, which is so unfair for the Lost Evil, or in the TT of course, because Town has infinite time to TT hunt. But what this change, it's impossible in TOS 2 because you cannot change it anymore. You can just do it for one night only if you want to really do it that bad, and you have to lynch the Lost Evil, which in my TT lobbies you cannot hold. It's a rule against. It's a lobby rule. It's banned. Because it's not fun to be held in jail. And the TT hunt without that is a real challenge, which is why I like the game mode. TT hunts are intense. So this nerf was much needed for a jailer. Look at Visit this Astral. So this is a minor change, but lookouts will no longer die to vet, I think. I don't think it's gonna affect the gameplay that much, but lookouts will not die to vet, cannot see each other anymore. So it reduces confirmability of lookout. As a psychic, you can now visit someone to include them in your vision. This makes psychic harder to fake claim since by visit the psychic can be confirmed. But you can still fake claim psychic as a random coven role. Visit somebody and include them to your vision. But yeah, it's nice to see psychic get a rework. Spy no longer sees coven visits. Now Spy seeing visits was OP. Now Spy doesn't have that. Instead, what Spy has is the bug ability from TOS1 on top of it. Spy can see hidden effects such as Hex, Douse, Insanity, Enchant, and Illusion. Insanity, Enchant, and Illusion are the new cover roles, which I'm going to explain later in the video. Investigator has been reworked here. I think this rework is not the optimal one for Invest, otherwise I would have done something like this and modded, but I think it's a very big nerf. I don't like this rework. You only see your target attacked somebody or not. This is basically the traders in Salem Investigator, same thing. They just brought the invest from TIS. I don't think this rework is a good one. To make an actual judgment, I need to see it in games. Amnesiac is now a town support. Yeah, I said neutral binaries were removed, but Amnesiac has been changed to a town role now. So what Amnesiac does is you will become the first town role that dies. This includes stoned roles, so it hard counters Medusa essentially. Because you know what the stone role is, because the Amni became that role. There's a still Amnesiac remember notification. It's very easy to confirm too. I think this is a very swingy role. It depends on who dies first. If the powerful role dies, Amnesiac becomes the powerful role, which is very strong in favor of the town. Pirates is now neutral evil. Yeah, I already explained the neutral evil concept, which they leave the town. Pirate has been moved to neutral evil. Now, if you get 2 plunders, you leave the town, and there's a special animation for it, which is shown in the trailer. And when you get 2 plunders, you basically win the game, and you do not have more impact on town. Executioner has been reworked. Now this is interesting. Now Executioner can choose their targets now, and if Executioner wins, they can torment a guilty or abstaining voter. So it's a mix of Old X and Jester. Executioner can kill someone that has guilty or abstained. But I honestly don't like this rework as well. This is not enough in my opinion. This is just X and Jester mixed. Yeah, you can choose your targets, okay, but I still don't think this is enough. Which is the coven role now. Coven leader is not witch anymore. So coven leader is an entirely different role. Coven leader is basically MK in a coven role, but when you get the Necronomicon, you choose to empower your offense or defense. Meaning you can attack powerful or you can make your defense basic. With empowered offense, you have powerful attack and your rollback immune, which is very strong basically. With empowered defense, you have basic defense. So you can choose your defense or your attack to empower, which is honestly better Godfather. But I'll take it. This should be more fun to play than getting Godfather in TOS1. Now Witch is a coven power role now. It works the same way as Town of Salem 1 Witch or Seal. You control someone to a target, but when you get the Necronomicon, you deal a basic attack to your target. But Witch doesn't get defense. That's the only thing that's different from the Seal in TOS1. Medusa is now Janitor, basically. It's not like Evil Vet anymore. You have 3 charges, you basically stone gaze them. Their roll on last will won't be shown to non-coven members. All coven can see the stone roll now, instead of just the Medusa. This is a basically better Janitor now. With the Necronomicon, you can attack or target and stone them at the same time. So it's essentially a better Janitor, in my opinion. But I said earlier, Maf roles were getting merged with Coven. So this change makes sense. Poisoner also got a rework here. With the lack of Consort in Coven, Poisoner is replacing this. So when you poison someone, they get roadblocked. But you have 1 charge of using the old poison. You can only do this once. It's basically a Consort that can kill once. But again, the same thing. Mafia and Coven being merged explains this change. It does make sense. Like the Coven in TOS2 is like Mafia, but better. What is new in Town of Salem 2? We have 7 new town roles in Town of Salem 2. The first one, the Deputy. Deputy is a new town killing role, which is essentially a day vigilante that deals a powerful attack, which is a very strong role in my opinion. It's OP. Since it's insta-confirm, you see who the deputy is after they shoot, because it's in the animation. It literally tells Giles Corey has fired their revolver, so you know who the deputy is. Yeah, you die if you misfire, but still, it's very strong and insta-confirm. But on the other hand, We can have some very interesting TT deputy plays. TT deputy that's fake claiming and just shoots the TT timer. We could do very good TT plays with this role. Prosecutor is another role from TIS, just like the Invest rework. You may prosecute someone and just hang them. Basically, it's the town version of the modern judge role. It does the same thing, but it doesn't require target to be voted up. You just instantly get guilty, and you have 2 charges of this. Again, this role is very strong. And imagine if there was a TT prosecutor that hides. Again, very good plays could be done with this role. I'm excited to see how the games are gonna turn out with this. New TI Seer, which is basically the parity cop. You check 2 people basically if they're opposing factions or not. You cannot check yourself for a revealed mayor, which is to prevent like obvious easy evil findings, which makes sense. I assume Neutral works as a faction on their own. Town and Coven are their own factions. So this is a pretty simple and straightforward TI parity cop. It checks if your target is on the same faction or not. It's very straightforward. Monarch, which is another yet powerful role, which is essentially another TIS role as well. It's the king from TIS, where you knight someone and give them an additional vote. But what's new in Town of Salem 2 is Monarch has a basic defense if you have someone knighted that's alive. So basically you cannot be killed until the people that are knighted dies, which makes Monarch pretty hard to kill. You may knight 2 people. And you know what's funny? The Retro can use this to knight himself or anyone else, so there can be very clutch red plays out of this role, or Monarch plays. I'm looking forward for this role. Trickster is the new TK, but I wouldn't call this a TK. I think this is the replacement for Transporter. Or how would I say, Town Begooder? This is literally Town Begooder. You may redirect an attack against you to another player. This is literally Towny Begooder. It's like Vet. Like, the way this role is played is like Vet. You're waiting for yourself to get attacked. You could bait people into attacking you and you redirect them to somebody else. But it's like the Begooder in Town of Salem modded. The old version of the Begooder. But I don't like this role. I don't think this role should be a TK. I think this is the cheap replacement of Transporter. I'm not a fan of this role, but we shall see how it turns out in games. To make a proper judgment, I need to get games of this role. So we shall see. Another new role is the Admirer. Basically, this role is the replacement of the Lovers mechanic. There is no Lovers mode in Town of Salem 2. Propose someone. If you may propose to someone as an Admirer. If they accept, you will become lovers with that person, and both of your roles will be revealed, and you get life linked. If they decline, it will be publicly announced to the town. So this role is a role that can be used to confirm people. But what I don't like about it is, he refused to propose. Get him, lynch them. Like, this is going to suck. Getting lynched because you refuse to accept the proposition. You're forced to reveal your role, essentially. I'm considering banning this role because it forces you to reveal your role, basically. Niv Coven roles. The Conjurer. This is evil version of Deputy. You may conjure a meteor to attack a player during the day. So this role is to punish the powerful roles. For example, if a mayor reveals, you can just conjure a meteor on them and just get rid of the mayor easily. This role is here to counter the powerful roles. So yeah, if there's Deputy, why there shouldn't be a counter of it? It makes sense. CL. I already talked about CL being the better Godfather. That you can choose your defense or offense with the Necronomicon. Jinx. Now, this is the implementation of Ambusher to the Coven. You may choose to lie in a target of wait. You may choose to lie in a wait at your target's house and jinx a random non-Coven visitor. This is basically Ambusher, but written in a more Coven-themed way. But it works the same way. With a Necronomicon, you also deal a basic attack to your target. It's pretty straightforward. It's Ambusher Coven version. Wild Link. So this is a pretty interesting role. I think this is OP. You have heightened sense at night and see everyone at the town faction visits. So I think this is OP because you basically know the person's name and you know who the person visits. This is extremely devastating for the neutrals because you can just eliminate who's not on the list and you can see their neutral. I think this role should be reworked into the better TOS agent that you're an evil lookout basically and you attack. With the Necronomicon, you deal a basic attack to your targets. It makes sense. But this role is OP. Very OP. Voodoo Master. Choose one person each night to create a voodoo doll of. This is the implementation of Blackmailer to the Coven. basically. I said again, Mafia roles are reappearing as coven roles. So this is the implementation of blackmailer. But if you get silenced by a voter master, you cannot vote. So there is no way to know that you got BM'd in this, because you cannot spam vote anymore. But you cannot BM the same person 2 nights in a row. This is also a difference, because getting BM'd over and over is not fun. This is a change that makes sense. Pretty simple, straightforward, BMer in coven, basically. Ritualist. So this is another new mechanic to the game that's added. Role guessing. Perform a blood ritual on a player at night. If you guess the correct role, you will deal an unstoppable astral attack. This sounds very strong, but it's to prevent powerful rolls from coming out again. There's also a natural evil version of this role, the Doomsayer. You have to guess 3 people to roll accurately, and you deal an unstoppable astral attack once again and you kill them. But as a ritualist, if you guess wrong, you're outed. Your role is revealed to the whole town, so this might backfire so hard. But this is the, again, take out confirmed roles, just like how the judge in better TOS does. Illusionist. So this role is focused on making the coven look innocent. Your illusion target will appear innocent to the sheriff and investigator. Your illusion will make the psychic see your target as good. Your illusion will make BG and traps see your target as a non-harmful visitor. This is what makes this role powerful. You ignore BGs and traps, so you can kill anyone that's protected by BGs and traps. Only a cleric or a crusader can protect your targets. Seers will see your illusion target as a town member, so this role focuses on making the coven look like town. Enchanter. This is basically framer and forger in one role. Alterate is the forge. You can have 2 forges and you have infinite frames. This is framer and forger merged into one role, basically. Pretty straightforward. The most interesting one, in my opinion, Dreamweaver. This is the implementation of Hypnotist for Town of Salem 2. You may invade the dreams of your target and attempt to drive them insane. What does driving them insane do? If your target is not visited by the town member the following night, they will go insane. Insane players cannot use abilities during the day. They will vote randomly. They will target randomly at night. So you can cause a lot of chaos as this role. And it only works on townies, so you cannot do this on NKs. This role works on especially town protectives, because you can just force them off of jail or a confirmed role by this way. Like this is a very strong role. But the only drawback is it's countered by a town member visiting. This is much better than Hypno, honestly. Like, this is way more powerful, I would say. There's a new Apocalypse faction. It's not really a faction because there can only be one Apocalypse role per game. But yes, Town of Salem is receiving the Horseman of the Apocalypse. We know Plaguebearer, of course. Even Plaguebearer is the same as Town of Salem 1, but other horsemen such as War, Famine, Death are added to the game. For example, Baker, which is the role that transforms the famine. Give bread to 3 people to start the famine. When 3 people get bread, the baker transforms into famine and the famine begins. And if you don't have bread, you die the next night. So this horseman can kill massive amounts of people in one night. It is very strong. So once the baker transforms, it has to be found. Otherwise, everyone that has bread will die. That doesn't have bread will die. So Berserker. This is Juggernaut that's turned into an apocalypse role. 1 kill, you may choose to attack a player each night. 2 kills, you rampage now. And when you transform to War, this is full Juggernaut, but you have invincible defense on top of it. So War and Berserker are basically Juggernaut in TOS 1. Soul Collector, which is to transform into Death. As this role, you need to predict who's dying that night, so you can reap their soul. You need 6 souls to transform into Death, and you passively get 1 soul each night. So if you correctly guess 3 people that's dying, you basically transform into Death and kill everybody. And the last apocalypse role is Blackberry. You already know how this works. You just infect everyone, turn into pestilence, same thing. But the other apocalypse roles are now in the game, so it's its own alignment, neutral apocalypse. And there's a special game mode called the 4 Horsemen, which is the Town versus Horseman game mode, which is definitely interesting. And there's a new NK, which is the Shroud. So Shroud can frame people for killing. If you shroud somebody, their target will be astral attacked by you. So you can make someone appear as a harmful visitor, which is very strong. This NK. I feel like this NK is going to cause a lot of confusion during the game. And the new neutral evil, the Doomsayer. I was talking about this earlier. This is the neutral evil version of the ritualist. Basically, you have to guess 3 people's names and roles correctly, and you kill them with an unstoppable astral attack. It's very simple and straightforward. Like some people think this role is OP, but I think it's a very role-less dependent. I would say it like forces powerful roles to not claim it because it's a very easy Doomsayer kill. I would say, but we shall see. I need to see games with this role as well to make an actual judgment because it's very hard without playing actual games. And one of the big changes, this was also I think in better TOS. You can put modifiers such as Town Trader or VIP during the games in custom lobbies, which is very huge because now you choose what is in your game now completely. Custom is way more customizable compared to TOS 1. Town Trader basically adds the Town Trader that joins the coven, and now there's some changes in the VIP mechanic. Whoever kills the VIP wins the game. If the VIP gets hung, all townies die. And there has been so many QL improvements in Town of Salem 2. Like you can mention people now by using for example, @tubeantics. You can mention roles by using hashtag. You can mention game mechanics such as abstain. And if you click on them, it shows you what it does. Like this makes the game way more easier for new people because you can actually read what the mechanic does and what the role does from here. It's so much better accessibility. Like these QL changes were very necessary for Town of Salem. And props to the devs, like this is a very good change in terms of quality of life. So the way lobbies work is the same as how lobbies work in Traders in Salem. There's a 6-digit code, or if the lobby is public or private, you can just join from the lobby browser. It works the same way. Anyway, let me answer some questions that might rise from this. Are we gonna stream this game? I will. I will be streaming this game on Twitch. I will be playing this game with you guys on. This game comes out to early access on May 26th. I will be playing this game on that day. It's a Friday, so it fits perfectly my stream schedule. I will be playing this game with you guys. So if you haven't followed my Twitch, make sure to follow. It's in the description. I will be playing Town of Salem 2 with viewers. I'm excited how this is going to pop up, honestly. What's going to happen to better TOS? I will maintain better TOS still. I'm pretty sure some of the player base, not all of the player base, is going to switch to Town of Salem 2. There's some that's still going to keep up with Town of Salem 1 because I feel like TOS 2 and TOS 1 are completely different games of how the mechanics work. It works completely different from how I read the roles. So a bunch of the player bases I predict are going to keep with Town of Salem 1. So I will be maintaining better TOS for now, but I've been told that there's going to be modding support for Town of Salem 2. So if I get that, and if like the majority of the player base switches to Town of Salem 2, I can port the modded roles to TOS 2. Yeah, we could be seeing Jackal in TOS 2, which will be hella goofy, but I am down for doing that. If the player base switches to this game. The very big stuff are coming in the future, both for the mod and this game. The mod is going to get coven soon. The update should be coming out really soon, so we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I will see you guys on the next video, hopefully.